Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome to week number 2 of the CrossFit Narellan Oran Park update show. I hope the lighting's a little better than last week. So for some reason it got all washed out on YouTube. Worked alright on my phone, but hopefully this works a little bit better. So we'll start out with announcements. So firstly, you got Beck's Twilight prep classes. They'll be starting on the 22nd of November. So if you're doing the Twilight comp, have a look at Beck's post and reach out to her if you have any questions. Macca's Kids Comp is on the 29th of November, the following Saturday. So if you have kids and they've never done CrossFit before, great way to start, but reach out if you want to come down and have a look at that. You can even volunteer to help judge that sort of thing. And then number 3, I've just put the 2 Christmas trees at either gym. So we are raising's the wrong word, collecting items for Turning Point Camden. So Turning Point's a charity that helps people in need, and especially at Christmas time, they help people that are struggling. So, and maybe people that are homeless or people that are just struggling for money, they can go into Turning Point. It's a check-in center and they can get food for their family, all that sort of stuff. So it's a really great charity. They're a not-for-profit organization as well. So I've posted in the Facebook group, but I'll include it in the email, the list of things that we're going to be collecting. It's just little things that they can eat at Christmas Day, that sort of thing. So any help you guys can give there, that's fine. And we can, the other thing they said that would be great would be gift cards from, say, like Aldi, Woolworths, Coles. So moving on to week 2 from the CrossFit Level 1 training guide. So you can download this for free online. I've got it printed, but obviously you don't need to do that. It's the best resource I've ever seen in my years of studying exercise for learning how to exercise better and improving your fitness. So last week we talked about the definition of CrossFit, which is constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity. And at the end, I started to talk about how you do CrossFit to get fitter. So what I'm going to talk about today is the definition of fitness. And this is the thing that I'm probably most passionate about with all of exercise. So CrossFit's definition of fitness is increased work capacity across broad time and modal domains. So that's increased fitness. Now, there's a few ways to break that down to talk about it to make our program make a little bit more sense. But the thing to take out of it is we do CrossFit, constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity to increase our fitness, which is our work capacity across broad time and modal domains. That's the simple part. So once we break the definition of fitness down, the first part of the sentence is work capacity. So mathematically, the equation for work and power are the same thing, but work is force times distance. When it becomes power, it's when you include the time element. Obviously, you guys know that CrossFit, generally there's a clock on and you're going as fast as you can. So increased work capacity is the same as increasing your power. Now, the way to think about work capacity or power is if I programmed 50 burpees for time, you'd all hate me firstly, but if we did that 1 week and then we did it 2 weeks later and your time went from 5 minutes to 4 minutes, as long as the movement standards are the same, you've increased your work capacity. And that can be for any number of variables. So that could be your back squat went from 100 kilos to 105 kilos. You went from 1 strict pull-up to 2 strict pull-ups. You could do 10 ab mat sit-ups unbroken, now you can do 20. All of those things are increases in work capacity. The next part of the sentence is across broad time domains. So increase work capacity across broad time and modal domains. We'll talk about time first. So this is where CrossFit really differs from most other exercise programs in the fact that we do workouts that are short, we do workouts that are medium, we do workouts that are long. And I've got a bone to pick with a lot of CrossFit programs as well because they tend to avoid short workouts nowadays. So you guys will know that I like to do those 1 minute on, 2 minute off, those short duration workouts. And as long as you program them well, they're still a great workout and it's making you a more well-rounded athlete because we want to be great at a 100-meter sprint, but we also want to be able to run a marathon. Not that I think any of you should. Marathon can ruin your health a bit, so let's chill out on that. But we want to be able to do both of those things. We want to be able to do a really heavy weight for 1 rep, but we also want to do a decent weight for 20 reps, right? That's time domain plays into it in that way. And then the last part of the sentence is across broad modal domains. So modal domains just means different modes of exercise. And in CrossFit, we have 3 modes of exercise. We've got cardiovascular exercise, we've got gymnastics, and we've got weightlifting. So cardiovascular exercise is anything like rowing, running, biking, skiing, those sort of things that are cyclical in nature, Then we've got gymnastics, which CrossFit defines as anything controlling just your body weight. And then we have weightlifting, which is anything controlling an external object. So we want to try and mix those elements in as many different ways as possible so that we can have a broad fitness. So the best way to imagine this is if we put 4 people in a fitness test against each other. We had a marathon runner, we had a gymnast, we had a power lifter, and we had a CrossFitter. And we had 4 different events. Obviously, let's program a CrossFit event first. In the CrossFit event, the CrossFit is going to win. Depending on the event, probably the gymnast will come second, maybe the powerlifter will come third if it's a shorter event, and the marathon runner will come fourth, right? That's the first way to think about it. Then if we talk about a powerlifting competition, so if we put 1 rep max squat, bench, and deadlift in, powerlifter is going to win probably all 3. CrossFit is going to come second in all 3. Maybe the gymnast will be okay at the bench press, but probably not at the squat and the deadlift. Gymnast will probably come third. Marathon runner will come fourth. Then we'll put a workout in which is, say, 30 muscle ups for time. Probably the gymnast is going to come first. Definitely the CrossFit is going to come second. And then you can flip a coin for the powerlifter and the marathon runner, because probably neither of them can do a muscle up. And then the 4th event we put in, it might be a 10K run to make it a little fairer on everyone. But 100% the marathon runner is going to win that. The CrossFit is going to come second. The gymnast probably come third, powerlifter fourth. And when you think about it in that way, you realize that our goal with our training is to create a general fitness that lends to any other task. So we want to be able to, you guys probably know Joe and Joy from the gym. They go and do bushwalks at least once a week, right? I want your fitness to really help you with those bushwalks, or I want you to be able to go and do a weightlifting competition if you feel like it. Or even when you think about it, and the more accurate way that it works is you guys do CrossFit competitions. I want you to be well-rounded for those. And anytime you focus on one part of your fitness, it's going to impact the other. So if you spend too much time on lifting, probably your gymnastics and your cardiovascular exercise will suffer. If you spend too much time on cardio, your weightlifting and your gymnastics will probably suffer a little bit. So our goal is to build a broad fitness where you guys can sort of be a jack of all trades, but a master of none. All right. So to summarize, our goal with doing CrossFit is to increase our fitness. Fitness is increased work capacity across broad time and modal domains. And one thing that CrossFit does that's very different to everyone else is CrossFit defines health as the exact same as fitness. So CrossFit's definition of health is increased work capacity across broad time, modal, and age domains, meaning health is just how well you can maintain your fitness over your lifespan. I hope that made sense. If anyone has any questions, you can put them on the comments on YouTube and I'll answer them. But thank you so much for watching if you got to the end. I hope I didn't ramble too much, and I will see you guys in the gym soon.